Hello guys and welcome to today's video. It's been a long time since I've uploaded one. That was due to my vacation and a few other things I had to do. So today I wanted to go ahead and create one of these tier lists. I've seen a few people doing that and I found it quite interesting because I think the idea of ranking things is always something I find quite interesting and entertaining because it shows different sort of opinions in a pretty structured way. So, as you can see, German school subjects is our topic today, and I've decided to put a few of them here. Um, yeah, these are subjects that I've had in my school career. Yeah, and I wanted to go and rank them. So yeah, I'm sorry that all of these subjects they have like the name written there, but I had to create one myself because there wasn't one for German school subjects. Yeah, and so these are obviously pictures from the German from a German site. So I had to go and download them and put them here. So now let's start with the first one, chemistry. Yeah, this one I've not had it consistently. I've had it for a few years. The last one being the 11th grade. I would put it in C tier because it wasn't always one of the subjects that I enjoyed learning for or even having in school, but it wasn't always that hard. I had the feeling that if you like put a minimum of effort in it, you should be able to deal with it. So I will put it in C tier. I think that's where it belongs right now. Obviously we will see at the end, and I will try to put everything in a spot where I think it belongs. Yeah, this one here, it just says computer, but it's informatics, obviously. Um, yeah, I started having informatics at the 12th grade. I went to school 13 years, so I had it for 2 years. And while most of my class, including me, sometimes hated the subject, sometimes I find it pretty interesting. And actually, while working on some of the websites I used to create, it were like 3 websites. The first one really enjoyed actually because it wasn't all familiar. It was a little bit familiar to me, and while working on it, um, I kind of learned something new, and that was something I enjoyed. But the problem is we had a few people in class that actually were really good at it and some that just weren't, some being 90% of the class. Yeah, so I would put it in B tier. I know my mates are gonna hate me for that because they would put it in D tier without even discussing. Uh, yeah, but we'll see at the end. Maybe I'll change some subjects. German. Yeah. Yeah, I think it belongs in A tier. Um, you know, in my early days, in the first to fourth grade, I didn't really like German, due to my failure in writing skills and my expression that wasn't really that good. But with more time passing, I enjoyed writing and learning German, because it's like it's like a nice language to learn, and when you are on a high level, it is always more fun to speak. So why not? I think it belongs there, especially in my time in high school now. Um, it was really really nice. I think the topics were quite interesting, and it was always something that me and my friends used to like, especially in high school. So I think this is where German belongs. So English. English, obviously. I really like English as a language, but like that, I would put it in front of informatics. But having English in school is not always something I was always very happy with it. Let's just say, let's put it here. This is also the order, so informatics is ahead of chemistry. So English was always a nice subject. I used to like it a lot, especially in the seventh grade, the eighth and ninth grade. Um, yeah, I used to speak a lot of English, especially when I was in middle school. That's where I really came up with the idea of learning for English to actually speak something, because in the fifth and sixth grade it wasn't my best subject. It was actually my worst one. Um, I enjoyed it quite a lot. Some topics were better than others, but I don't see why it should be higher than German, because comparing the time I had in both subjects, I would say ultimately German was better. So, yeah, this is like a pretty random subject. I didn't really find something that was suitable for an image. So this is like what we call seminar. In our school, it's like just organizes something with the teacher, speaking about problems, like how to present something about your job, studying. So just this whole organizing thing. And well, the subject itself, like I'm gonna be honest here, it was pretty useless. I, me and my friends, we always had a nice time. So I don't know where to rank it as of right now, because you could just like I could just leave school 2 hours earlier and nothing would really I wouldn't really miss out on anything. So hard, tough one. Let's just put it here, because just because of the fun. It was I'm rating everything right now, not just the subject being useful for your future. It's not that useless, but most of the time you just do nothing. French, yeah, D tier. This is like no discussion for me. Uh, my probably my worst subject all of the time ever. Yeah, I just hate French. Maybe I'm just not good at it, or I was just bad at this time. But I never really liked the language. I still do not like it. Um, Probably because I don't know. I just had my first contact with French in a really bad time, concerning school and language skills. Well, I don't know what to say. I just don't like the subject, and probably never change. Yeah. History. The last 2 years I didn't have any history, but I'll put it here. I always enjoyed having history. Actually, yeah, I put it here. After German. History was always very nice. I found it to be one of the most interesting subjects by far, due to the history. Yeah, and yeah, history being a pretty interesting subject, because I always thought it would be hard to learn a lot about the past, but history teachers have ways of teaching us very fast and very accurate. And because the knowledge of history is so useful that you can use it in any of these basically, you just get to know so much from the subject that you can always relate to different things happening in English and German, especially when talking about literature. Um, yeah, so all right, I think it's probably good right there. Politics. I'm gonna put it S tier. I'm already gonna say it. Best subject for me. Has been and always will be one of the most interesting subjects. You can discuss everything. You can talk about everything. I think what you can learn there is probably one of the most important things, and that is how your country works and how the world works is with politics. Obviously, there are a lot of like relation. There's a yeah, German history and politics are close together because they always relate to each other. That's why I find it so useful because I think from all of these three, this is the one where you can learn the most about all of these three. Um, yeah, what else can I say? Best subject. Arts. Yeah, this one I find pretty. Let's just gonna do that later because this one is hard for me. Let's just do. Hmm. Let's just do yeah, PE, physical education. Um, I'll probably put it in the middle. Um, just because I love physical education, especially in school, because it is so funny most of the time. It's just most of the time you just troll with your mates, you have a lot of fun, and that's what makes it a cool subject, I guess, because sometimes the themes like basketball, I've had it now like every year in school, and it's just boring, I think. Um, I never played like volleyball. I love it. I love this game, and I sometimes we played it in school, but most of the time just for a few lessons, and then it ends, and that's just so disappointing. But yeah, due to the fun it provides, I would put it on top of the B tier. Spanish. Yeah, yeah. Spanish. Actually, I had to do Spanish in high school because I didn't have a uh, a third language actually, because German and English is regular, and then you have to learn a third one. I had like I told you, I had French, but just for 1 year, and then I quit having French and decided to go for handicraft. Yeah. Um, yeah. So Spanish. What else can I say? Uh, 3 years in high school. First, I because me and my friend we had Spanish most of the time together. We didn't really enjoy having the language because at first these were bonus lessons where everybody else could just go home. But after having it 2 years in high school, we actually kind of liked it. Well, at least me, because the language itself is pretty easy. I would say almost as easy as English. And there were good lessons and there were bad lessons. And I would say probably most of the time 70 or 80% of the lessons were really nice, while just 20% were okay. Maybe that's a bit too much because due to the beginning of Spain, I would say B tier is probably a good spot. And at the end, it's unfortunate to say that I I already forgot how to speak Spanish right now, but that's just how it goes sometimes. All right, next one, mathematics. Whew, this is a tough one. I would move this down because I can't have it in the same tier because this subject is so useless, but a lot of fun, and mathematics is okay. I would say it's okay. I would put it somewhere around. It's hard to tell. These are pretty close. Not just basically English would be a better subject, but I think my teacher for math was really cool in the high school, and the teacher for English was okay. Oh, I probably never tell them about this YouTube channel because then they might see it, but it's okay. So I would say this is pretty good, because still I enjoy having English a little bit more because there's a lot to talk about. In math, you work most of the time, and in English, there's at least there are possibilities to talk about certain things. While in math, it's just sometimes very boring, and I believe that except for a few lessons where you just write in English and analysis, it was always still a lot of fun for me. Um, yeah, I blame my teacher, but she can't really decide on the topics we have to work on because analysis is just always what we have to do. That was a little bit unfair. It's okay. Yeah, music, uh, just straight up here, I would say. Uh, it's just maybe chemistry because I only had music for the first 5 or 6 years in my school career. It's just always been the subject where you just go, you do stupid stuff and you leave. So what else to say? I think it was just it was I don't even know what to say. It was so long ago, but let me just say I didn't really learn anything from it and I was bad at it. Yeah, that is that's it. Religion. Uh, yeah, I would put it right here. I enjoyed having religion since the seventh or eighth grade. I'm not too sure. Um, so let me start. I think the idea of religion is really nice, and I know when you think of religion, you think pretty one-dimensional because, yeah, you talk about religion, you talk about the Christ, the Jews, the Muslims, but there are a lot of other topics we worked on during these 7 years. No, 6 years. One of them being role models, other ones being philosophers who talk about different positions concerning different things of the world. So it was just mix of many subjects, and that's what I enjoyed about religion. There was always time to talk, there was time to write if you would like to. So I would put it here, especially in my in high school. It was really nice. Uh, just so many topics and so many interesting things. So yeah, these are the three hard ones, I would say. Let's start with handicraft. I had it in a for about 4 years, and after having four different teachers in 4 different years, working on 4 different topics, I would put it where here. Yep. Um, it was funny because weren't any restrictions concerning what the teachers had to teach. You could just do what you want basically. There was even a year where we could decide what we would like to do, and where the problem was that not many people were really motivated to do anything. It was still fun, but also frustrating for the teachers, making them sometimes really annoyed of class, what I can totally understand. But yeah, it was always funny for me and my friends because we actually did something, and even though we worked hard sometimes, we still had a lot of fun, and the teachers were always relaxed from drawing to working to uh, giving presentations to the class. It was a funny subject. So arts, yeah. I didn't want to do it in first place because it's a hard decision for me because there were so many good things. There were even things where I could say, hey, let's just put it here. Working on the yearbook of my school was like somewhere around this area. But then other projects, for example, the last one in the last year were around here. And while there for me were more negative or at least worse projects than better ones, I would put it, yeah, I would put it here. Oh, yes, I think that's a good spot. Because sometimes I had so much fun going there, just working, doing something in the group, working on a project, but then other times you go there and say, yeah, just write an analysis, just look how I design something, just look how I do something with Photoshop and you need to copy it. These lessons were just boring and the programs were so old we need to work and it was sometimes so annoying. So yeah, this is good. This is good. Because it was still a lot of fun. Yeah, last but not least, physics. Yeah, I would say probably, yeah, I think this is a good spot. Just the worst subject, even worse than French. It's so bad. I mean, it's so bad. It's like mathematics, but retarded. I hate this subject so much. I've never had like a normal, regular teacher in it. I feel like always, except for like half a year in high school, all the teachers were so fucked up in physics. Like I didn't know what to do. Like there's always the questions like, can you imagine that? Like, oh, shut up, please. No, I cannot understand. I cannot imagine because the subject is. Oh, okay. I need to chill. Yeah, just very complicated. I know this. Okay. So looking at this, I think I S tier politics. Yes, you could argue with me to put religion in the same spot, but I think politics is a tier of their own. Uh, Religion, German history. Looks good, looks good. Spanish, PE, English, mathematics, arts. I think this looks good to me too. Again, these two you could swap them, but as of right now, I see English being a little better. Uh, because when I just think of high school, I would probably do it like this. But when I think of all of the school time I spent in English class, this is more fair. Arts, like I said, it's a lot of good projects where you could say, hey, let's put it here, but a lot of bad projects where you could say, let's put it here. So middle is good. Uh, like this random subject, seminar, like put it here. Um, because some things were actually kind of cool. We used to visit a university. Sometimes we just talk about a lot of cool things, and you always have the most fun in this subject. Pretty similar with this one, but I would say this was a little bit more serious. Um, yeah, and the teacher wasn't always that great. Informatics, again, at the beginning, I found it really funny, and I actually worked on the first website we created a lot. Uh, but at the end, just no, just no. Chemistry, like I said, it's easy to understand, but apart from that, nothing really interesting. In this subject, I was just yeah, I put it here. I was just really bad, and I just didn't like it a lot. It was such a stupid subject. Unless you want to do something in this area, I think the subject is just dumb. French, my first ever third language, and I used to hate it. I still hate it. I'm not good at it. That's it. Spanish is way better. Physics, it's just stupid. Yeah. All right. If you want to try it yourself, you can see the link here. What also gonna put it in the description. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Tell me if you would have done something different from my tier list. I think this I think all of this is debatable because there are so many different types of people in school. All right, see you next time. Maybe next video is a podcast. Maybe the next video is another tier list. Um, let's see. See you soon.